I think the broccoli test, first of all, makes me really angry sometimes. I don't know if you use it. I'm hoping you do since you created it. I use the broccoli test all the time and I just want to like, yeah, just throw it, and it is going to, it pushes you right into the moment, right? Like what is actually going on here? Because literally, if you would not eat something that's going to benefit your body, right? Whether it's broccoli or an omelet, like you said, or, an apple or some nuts over fun foods, right?
Right.
Which are good too. They're fine. But really, like chips and things like that, like if you're not willing to eat those things, this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to dig in. And I just think, like, put reminders around the house. Hey there, guys. Stick with us, okay? Because today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest challenges we all face. We all face it. Cravings, right? Like, where do they come from? What are they? Why are they happening? How do we deal with them? All right? They get in the way so often. Adam is here with me. He's going to bring in some good tips. All right, so hang with us because today I have a story to share with you about one of my clients most recently who was really struggling with this, and we got him through it. We got him over the hump. It's possible for you too. So here we go. All right, Adam, you good? You ready?
I'm ready. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
What is going on with your lapel? What is on your lapel?
Oh. Well, Adam, nobody brings me flowers anymore. Right. And so I just was recruiting broccoli. It's also, listen, just great. Stick with us because it is going to matter. I'm glad you asked. This is part of the tactic, y'all. Get yourselves some broccoli. If you don't like broccoli, get some celery sticks. I don't know, a carrot, whatever goes nicely in lapel. Wear lapels. Who wears lapels these days? Right? I just happen to have one. So here we go. All right. Here's the deal. I get a text yesterday from one of my clients. I've been working with him, I don't know, I think 5 months now. And I tell him all the time, listen, reach out to me when you're struggling and you don't know what to do. Don't rail against it. Text me, reach out to me, let me help you. So he did. And I was so excited because it was such a cool moment in his journey. So here's the deal. He texted me and he's like, hey, I got up. I had an early meeting this morning. I ate breakfast at like 6:45. It's now 8:15 and I'm hungry again and I'm craving food, but I don't think I should eat. And I was like, well, what is it you're craving? And he was like, a second breakfast. I'm like, okay, so get specific. And very much like the like a replication of what he had earlier. He had like a egg sausage biscuit. Yeah, an egg sausage biscuit, which by the way, if you're thinking like that doesn't sound like health food, we'll deal with that later. So I said, okay, so you want just like another round of breakfast. If you had the time, and he had told me, I don't have time for anything else. So I think I'm just going to go to the office and make do with an oatmeal packet. I said, well, wait a minute. Let's slow down for a second. If you had time to he makes the most amazing omelets when he has time in the morning. Vegetables, little ham, some cheese. He loves it. In fact, the other day he told me he stopped and took a breath after taking his first bite because he thought he had finally perfected his omelet. So I said, if you had time to make that omelet right now, would you make it and would you eat it? And he said, absolutely. I said, baby, this ain't a craving. Go have that second breakfast. And he was just like so relieved. And he had a killer day. And I said to him today when I spoke to him through his log, I said, just imagine if you had railed against that. If you had railed against your body saying, man, I need a little extra today, how the day might have turned out. It was a great day. It was a great day. So, I just wanted to bring this up because I feel like a lot of us face cravings, right? And I want us to talk a little bit more about how do we figure it out? How do we know? Is this a craving? Should I be having it? What do I do with it? And that's why I wore the broccoli because we have, Adam's amazing tool, the broccoli test. So Adam, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think?
Well, I love that you coach him through it. I love that he reached out to you because it really gives us an opportunity to do what we do, um, helping him determine what he was actually hungry for, what his craving was for. Cravings, I like to say, are just symptoms. It's a symptom of something else, right? There's something else going on. Sometimes it is for food, a meal, etc. Sometimes it's for a specific food, which is typically not about the food itself. And sometimes it's just because we're overwhelmed, we're busy, we're stressed, and there's all sorts of things going on. And to your point and to your beautiful little flower, the idea with the broccoli test is if you're hungry enough to eat raw broccoli or any vegetable, or an omelet, real substantial food, then you're actually hungry for food, right? You're hungry for a meal. But if you're craving something specific, then it's not about the food, right? It's about what the food allows us to avoid and or the void it fills.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and, I think the broccoli test, first of all, makes me really angry sometimes. I don't know if you use it. I'm hoping you do since you created it. I use the broccoli test all the time, and I just want to yeah, just throw it, and it is going to, it pushes you right into the moment, right? Like what is actually going on here? Because literally, if you would not eat something that's going to benefit your body, right? Whether it's broccoli or an omelet, like you said, or, an apple or some nuts over fun foods, right?
Right.
Which are good too. They're fine. But really, like chips and things like that, like if you're not willing to eat those things, this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to dig in. And I just think put reminders around the house.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
last
Like,
night I was
go
watching
ahead.
the Knicks game, and being a Knicks fan, it's I'm a diehard Knicks fan. It is torturous. I can't. The amount of games they've lost in the last few minutes of the game, being up versus even really good teams, is just it's awful. Like they've been up like 10, 15 points, and then they somehow lose these games. And like last night, I was watching the game. Thankfully, they won. But like I found myself like hungry, and I was like standing in the fridge. I'm like, I'm not actually hungry. I'm just like really stressed right now. I'm like, just anxious about this game. I want the Knicks to win. And I was like, all right, just like embrace the moment. This is fun. If I wasn't in that moment, I probably would have just grabbed something and eaten it. And I wasn't actually physically hungry. And to your point, yes, the broccoli test, while I think it's highly effective, can be annoying because it snaps you into the moment and it catches it. Like it's a catch, right? It's like, it's a tripwire. It's like, I'm actually not hungry. And like, I know I'm not hungry, people often joke like ignorance is bliss. It's like before they were aware, most people, before they kind of take our approach, it's just they're focusing on what they're eating, right? So it's like, if you don't eat this, eat that. And I think one of the things we encourage people to do is focus on why you're eating. And when you start to understand why you're eating and you realize you're about to eat for, stress or, you're anxious or whatever it might be, or you're just frustrated because your team is not going to win or you think you're going to lose again, it takes that ignorance away, right? And like it is fun to just eat whatever you want, not think about it. But when you start to understand why you're doing what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier to change your behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, frankly, I think it's also pushing you into a place where you can't unlearn what you're learning, right? Like, like you said, it is bliss until you start knowing. And
Right.
so once you start knowing, go ahead and keep going. Like figure it out. Why are you having these cravings? And what can you do about it? And sometimes it's nothing. You can't change the Knicks' poor behavior at the end of the game.
Right.
you
Right.
know? So I don't know. Make sure there's a punching bag next to the TV, Adam.
That's a great idea. And I might do that. And I literally was standing while I was watching the end of the game because I had so much like energy. I needed to do something. And it's like, if I don't do something with this energy, I'm just going to eat to suppress that energy. And something I've been, what were you going to say?
It's such a good topic that you just brought up, but I'm going to withhold. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we all have energy and like, we all have, we're all adults with responsibility and like there's energy that builds up. And if you don't do something with it, and unfortunately most people don't, they wind up eating to suppress that energy. If you can move a little bit, it like gets the energy out. You got to work that energy out in a way. But something I've been thinking a lot about too also is like my son, recently just celebrated his 6th birthday. And like, I think parenting is the ultimate mirror because like there are times where so much of our parenting is just in response to their discomfort, right? They're uncomfortable, they're upset, they're crying. And it's like, all right, here, take this because I don't want to deal with your discomfort is making me uncomfortable, right? Your crying is annoying me. Take this. And it's like the best thing we can really do is let him feel his feelings, right? Let our kids feel our feelings. And we need to do that for ourselves too. And it's like, you can't always just eat whatever you want to eat because you're feeling a certain way. The best thing we can actually do is feel our feelings, let it pass on by. And when we do that, it actually does its thing and then it goes away. Whereas when we kind of try to suppress feelings, you're just like pushing them down and you're stuffing them down, eventually they're going to come up, right? It's like the annoying door-to-door, salesman. They keep knocking. It's like sometimes I just answer the door, hey, very politely, we're good, thank you very much. And it's just like, all right, he can cross this off the list.
Yeah. It's just unsubscribing from spam mail. I can't tell you how many times I just delete it. If I would just go in and hit unsubscribe, they would stop showing up, right? It's just, you got to address what needs addressing. Sometimes it is hunger. Broccoli helps you know that. And sometimes it isn't. Can you address when it's not hunger? Can you just face it a little bit? And listen, I always tell my clients, I'm like, food is there. Food is in the box. It can be used as a coping mechanism whenever you say you want it, whenever you say you need it. Our goal will be to help you develop healthy boundaries, so you can use it in a way that doesn't harm you. But also I want you putting other things in the box. Put a punching bag in there, or some movement, right? Or music, or a bath, whatever. But we can't just only have food.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And, the more we can feel our feelings, the better off we'll ultimately feel and be. And it's empowering when you get through it too, right? Like, working through those cravings, well, it is a craving, but working through those cravings, it's just not for food. Working through those cravings and working through that hunger, right? Like, it's really empowering because you start to understand what it is you really want, what it is you're really feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was feeling that the Knicks were and are beyond frustrating.
Well, Adam, we'll all keep you in mind.
Thank you.
We're all going to keep you in mind. Keep some broccoli out. All right. If you need to munch on broccoli, take it out on broccoli.
I like it.
All right. Anyway, guys, if you have some thoughts about this stuff, leave some comments. We love to hear what are you coming up against? What kind of cravings are you facing? Have you tried the broccoli test or the omelet test or the, apple test, right? But let us know. Let us hear from you. And we'll be back to visit with you again soon. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, check out the link for another great video right here.
And if you're having trouble staying consistent, if you feel like you know what to do but just can't seem to do it, I invite you to check out our coaching program. It's in the link below. We offer one-to-one accountability, coaching, support. I know you're going to love it, and let's go. Together we can make it happen.